Hey, what's up, guys? Yokobomb here, and I'm back with another episode of the Baltimore Orioles franchise on Out of the Park Baseball 19. And here, as you can see, we are at the All-Star game today. So we're going to go ahead and just get into and look at who made the All-Star team. Looking at the All-Star roster to see if we have anybody. Just scrolling through here. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. I see Victor Caterini here. He's an all-star for us right here. I don't see anyone else. Yeah, so one guy for us, and then just here's a quick look at the National League, just real quick, and just an update on how our record is. We are 50-45. So we are actually occupying the second wild card spot right now, and we do have a pretty big decision to make because the All-Star game is pretty late. It's July 23rd, so we only have a few days here to decide if we want to sell or what we want to do here. I don't think I'd buy much though. Let's take a quick look at our run differential here and see what we maybe want to do. So looks like we're playing one game better than our run differential would suggest, which is pretty surprising to me considering how bad our pitching has been, because our pitching has been, at least our starters have been, one of the worst in the American League. Our bullpen's been pretty decent. We've been hitting a lot of home runs, getting on base at a decent clip, but we still haven't scored a ton of runs, so not quite sure what we want to do, because we are in a really close race. Looks like Tampa Bay 2 games behind us. Texas is 5.5, so there are definitely a good amount of teams that are right behind us, and we're not too far behind Boston or New York. 6.5 out from the division. If I did sell, Cole Calhoun was the guy who I was definitely looking on selling for like the most value this season. And I mean, see, what would an extension cost for him? So his extension would be right around where his team option is for next year. I'm not sure if I'd bring him back next season. I think instead of buying, maybe I would, to fix the pitching rotation, maybe I would bring up a young guy. Like De La Cruz has been in the bullpen here, which is not ideal, especially because Cashner and Cobb have been so awful. I might try to deal one of those guys, so then we could have Harvey up in the bigs. Anyway, let's just keep going for a few days, and then we'll kind of go on that. I think I do want to wait until pretty much the last day or two, see how we do in this series against Tampa Bay. Just check the waiver wire to see if there's any pitchers that we might want to bring in. Alright, so let's see if we can take any of these games against Tampa Bay. It's probably going to be honestly the biggest factor in and what we want to do here at the deadline. So we take the first game. And it looks like we take the second game. A sweep here would be pretty nice. Ooh, Lucas Giolito's on waivers. That could definitely be interesting. Alright, so it looks like we sweep Tampa Bay. So now we're doing even better. It looks like Giolito has been pretty bad. Let's take a look at his BABIP is pretty high though. His FIP's over 5. It's been a negative WAR player up to this point. He's out of options. Let's take a look at the standings. Oh, whoops. Come on. Oh, there we go. Alright. So, yeah, Boston looks like they kept winning. Now the next team is 3.5 out, and Tampa Bay is 5 out after that. We've been 7-3 in the last 10. Our magic number is 60. I think staying pat might be the move to make here, because I was originally planning on getting rid of Scope and Calhoun, but since we are, I mean, Scope's been pretty awful, and if we traded away Scope, I would most likely bring up Mountcastle, who hasn't been fantastic in AAA, but he is 22. He's got good personality. And I'm definitely not going to be bringing back Scope next year, I don't think. Yeah, because he's definitely not worth $10 million. So, let's just see what we could get for Scope here. Because I'm much more likely to bring back Calhoun on that option, which isn't, $14 million isn't too crazy for him, especially how he's been performing. So, see if we can get anything here for Scope. That would be interesting. Even an infielder that's more cost controllable than him and similar in ratings would be good, because Scope has not been good at all. I think his batting average is like 250, which is whatever, but his on base percentage is only like 278, something like that. Oh yeah, it looks like Boston's offering up David Price. If we could get a team to retain some money on some of these guys, that would be, and we could do that. That would be pretty nice. Oh yeah, we're getting offered. Looks like we're getting some solid offers here for Scope. Just at a first glance. See, Boston looks like they're pretty interested. The Cubs, although a ton of these teams are contending. Detroit's offering up Drew Pomeranz. I'm not sure if I want to necessarily do that deal. The Dodgers are offering up Kenley Jansen. Yeah, that would be pretty nice, but that is not realistic whatsoever. Yeah, let's just go in the standings and look at who's contending. So yeah, the Cubs are in first. The Yankees are in first. The Phillies, I was interested in one of their deals. They're still in the hunt. But a deal like that could definitely make sense for a team like that if they're really desperate for a bat, and they have a lot of pitching depth, and they could afford to give away a starter. So yeah, let's just take a look at. See, we're looking at the Cubs, the Red Sox, and who else? I passed the Phillies already. The Phillies, it's just one in these areas are making $25 million a year, and the Giants. Then Juicy is starter or not? He could start. But yeah, we're just gonna take a look quick at some of these teams to see if they have more pitching than they need. The Price is slotted in as the second starter for Boston right now. Does their need for a bat really outweigh their need for to keep one of those starting pitchers? That Red Sox definitely are a no. I'm not sure. San Francisco isn't really contending right now, so Marja could definitely be a guy that they're looking to move. Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind Samardzija on that deal, and even if they could retain a little bit, that could be a pretty nice little find. Ah, dang. I always keep clicking on that. Look at the Phillies. They're probably with them as close in the hunt as they are, I definitely don't think that they deal Arrieta. I think it might be best to pursue Samardzija. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. Where are the Giants? Alright. Just look down here to make sure we didn't miss anything. And I don't think we did. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. See if they would be willing to retain at like 30%, 50. Let's see how high we can go here. I don't really care about how much they retain, but anything's nice. 9 mil on this would definitely be let's see if they have anything else that we could possibly want. Looks like a lot of their pitchers have been struggling this season. I don't really think that they have anything too interesting. If they had a decent lefty in their bullpen that we could get, that would be pretty ideal because Will Smith, he's a lefty, isn't he? Yeah. Will Smith could be interesting, though he is fragile. See what would happen if we. Looks like they'd be willing to do this deal for Will Smith. Yeah, was he a 2.5-star player? I believe a 3-star player. I think he's under arbitration right now. Oh yeah, I think so, but he's gonna be a free agent at the end of the year. I think we're just gonna throw in a prospect here because I feel like it's not too realistic with just giving away a major leaguer for 2 other major leaguers. So I think we're gonna throw in a guy here. Just look at the OSA ratings. Let's find a guy that our head scout doesn't necessarily like a ton. We can give away this guy, Aiken. Yeah. Actually kind of like those guys' ratings. They're not too awful. Looks like he could be a decent bullpen arm at the least. Offer this guy up. Doesn't look too special, and he's already 24. I think I'll just go ahead and throw him in there. I think we'll just do the 50% retention for the deal. Yeah, we'll do 60. So we're sending Scope and Sedlock for Samardzija and Smith. That's the first deal we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and fix our pitching here. I don't really think we can get out of Cashner or Cobb's contract, but if we could do that to get Samardzija in the rotation without releasing or DFAing Cashner or Cobb, that would be ideal, especially Cobb because he's under contract for another year, whereas Cashner has that team option for next year. Yeah, looks like just a bunch of guys who are making more money than they should. I know other saves, I've been able to finagle with the Diamondbacks to get Thomas's deal down, or Tomas, however you say it. But it looks like we're not going to be able to get rid of Cashner. We'll just, oops. Let's just go by FIP again. Yeah, Cobb has been pretty bad. We definitely want to get rid of him because he's under contract for another 2 seasons. But his ratings are higher than Cobb, so I mean Cashner. So maybe we'll actually be able to deal him away. And it looks like we're basically getting the same things, nothing. So we're definitely gonna have to do something here about that. So alright, well, first things first, we'll put Samars on the active roster because we know we want to do that. I think at this point we're gonna have to carry 13 position players on the roster because of Zal's inability to play all the backup infielder spots, and Diaz can't play them either. He's even worse. So because of the lack of defensive versatility, we're gonna have to carry 13 guys as position players. And I think at this point, yeah, Cashner, he pitched 100 innings. His FIP is 6.6. He's -1 win in WAR. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna DFA him if he doesn't have any options left. Yeah. So we're not gonna be able to do anything with that. So we're gonna DFA Cashner because we do not have any room for him. And we're gonna call up Mountcastle to take Scope's place as a position player. Because we don't have anybody else who's worth calling up. And Chance Cisco's just down here being awful in AAA. So his future's done. He's no longer a prospect he's no longer in my eyes a prospect on this team. So he's just gonna be sitting down there for now. We're gonna have to get Hayes back up here. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just do that real quick. Send down Mullins for Austin Hayes. As Almora continues to be absolutely awful. So we might consider sending him down for Mullins if he doesn't start performing better. And now we're at 25 guys on the roster, so oops. Givens has been pretty bad according to his FIP, but I definitely want to keep him around. Cobb, we can't really move, and I doubt refuses to be sent down. De La Cruz has been pretty decent in his time that he's been up here. So I don't want to send him down. I'm definitely not going to send down Colome. This is a tough decision. I guess we'll just go by who has options left. Givens has an option left, so he's just going to go down, and then we'll bring up Will Smith. Just want to check on how he's been this year. Because we definitely need that second. That's fielding stats. I do not want that. Smith, in pretty limited action this year, hasn't been that good. But we definitely need that second lefty out of the pen. We can't be worse than Givens has been for us this year. So I'm going to take a look at how the pitching rotation lines up with the new additions that we've made. It has Alright, so there's De La Cruz slotted in there, and we have Samardzija slotted in there, so that is really good to see. And then just look at the lineups real quick. As Mountcastle starting at second base, which is fine with me, even though his second base ratings are really, really poor right now. But I think he could definitely be a decent second baseman. His infield ratings aren't that good, and Andujar's really aren't either. But he has a great arm for third base, so that's fine. And I think that's gonna do it for the moves that we're going to make this season. But we'll just go up to the trade deadline here, see if we get offered anything that kind of blows me out of the water. Okay, and I think that's going to do it for this episode. Of course, it was not a long episode, as we pretty much just used the trade deadline right here, made a few moves to get our team in position to maybe make the postseason actually in this second year, which would be a pretty good feat in itself, considering how bad we were last year and how bad the Orioles were in real life last year. So I know we didn't really get that far in time in the game necessarily, as we only pretty much moved up a few days, but we did do a good bit in this episode. So next episode I'll probably be, depending on how we do, if we're in a race down the stretch for the last wild card spot or a division race, I'll most likely make an episode on that for the September race, and at least update you guys on how close we are to making the postseason next episode, and we'll finish out the regular season. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.